Historically, Almeria has been an impoverished province, a mountainous territory that hindered communications and the transport of goods. It was a very arid terrain with a lot of sun and little water, where agriculture could barely thrive. A desert island in a corner of Spain, far from everywhere, far from the future. In short, ours has always been a land of emigration. However, in the 1940s, plans were put in motion to access groundwater and transform the fields of Dalias and Níjar. These are the settlements of the National Institute of Colonization. Those were the first steps to change the course of our history, with new boreholes and wells to convert dry lands, which until then were unproductive, into irrigated land. Something was changing. With the first irrigation systems came the first signs of non-conformity. The project began with traditional crops like alfalfa, corn, barley and potatoes, but the results were not as expected. When one learns to cultivate the land, one also learns to cultivate perseverance. And with that, human beings search and search again for solutions to every problem that arises. Thus, in the mid-50s, results began to change with the arrival of the first sand plots and shortly after with the first greenhouses. As often happens, it all started as an experiment. There was so little to lose. And so, with the experience accumulated after more than a century of raising grape trellises in the mountains, and that mentality specifically open to innovating and experimenting in the new sand parcels, the great transformation of the Almerian countryside became possible. It is a transformation and a countryside that haven't stopped growing ever since. Irrigation, sand, plastic. These are innovative variables that allow for higher production, reaching the market before anyone else and greater profitability. This changed everything, multiplying the farmer's income. But to take advantage of these new opportunities, the countryside had to assume investments much larger than those of traditional agriculture. In the Almeria of the 60s, no financial entity dared to support an agricultural experiment with no precedents and no guarantees of success, except for someone with the same DNA. And this is the moment when we appear. A cooperative credit entity driven by the farmers themselves, people of the land, to boost this land. Despite the enthusiasm, the beginnings were difficult. The Caja Rural de Almería was constituted in 1963, but we could not open our first office until 1966. From then on, our daily commitment to the Almerian countryside began, covering the financial needs of our farmers, cooperatives and companies, and accompanying them in the launch of their projects. Yes, it was in 1963 when our Caja Rural was born, and it was also in that same year when the first greenhouse was erected on Almerian soil. The coincidence in dates might seem casual, but in this case we speak of causality, because everything that came after can only be explained as a co-evolution of both, as a joint growth. The agricultural revolution seemed unstoppable. But in October 1973, the worst floods in the province's recent history tested our recovery capacity, and we had to start over. Our Caja Rural went all out so that resources would reach those who needed them most quickly. After the disaster in 1974, our activity intensified. We gained the sector's trust, and Caja Rural obtained its first relevant profits. We have always been a different kind of financial entity. Our mission from the beginning is to generate shared value, helping families and companies grow. This commitment to the territory is what led us to dedicate new resources to the creation of the first technology centre of and for our countryside. If we won, we all won. We wanted to experiment with cutting-edge technologies from all over the world, to adapt them to the new needs of the Almerian farmer and transfer that knowledge. Thus, Las Palmerillas Experimental Station was born in 1975. Since then, we have spent 50 years innovating and sharing knowledge and technology. The Almerian agriculture has experienced many changes during this period, and in all of them we have participated as a tool at the service of the farmer and as a space for the learning of technicians and researchers. Today we are very efficient in water usage. We have maximized fertilizer consumption optimization. We have improved greenhouse designs and are capable of controlling the cultivation conditions inside much better. We have incorporated biological pest control, and we are developing new circular economy systems that allow us to save more resources, reuse what was previously waste, and generate more value and growth opportunities every day. Always with the same objective: to consolidate a sustainable development model that improves the standard of living for the greatest number of people, and for it to be respectful of the environment. Always working with the same elements: ideas, people, and territories. Currently, Almeria is a global reference in development and knowledge. And we have ahead of us the challenge of feeding more than 10 billion people and driving the transition towards a greener economy, for which we continue to rely solidly on the same tools as in 1975. Cooperation, technology, and knowledge. Today we have much more experience. Yes, and there are many more of us. Around Las Palmerillas, to which we have added the Cajamar Experience Center in Valencia, we have built year after year our own innovation ecosystem to keep growing together. We are specialists in technical training. We have generated the largest online agro library in Spain. We have launched a digital knowledge community around Plataforma Tierra, and we have launched acceleration programs for technology-based companies through Cajamar Innova. Today, Almeria is the best laboratory for sustainability and efficient agro production in the world. Thanks to everyone's work and commitment, we want to build the agriculture of the future together. Welcome to Las Palmerillas 4.0.